Did you ever have to shoot anyone at close range doing low vis stuff in that program?
No, I beat it up on a guy one time with a laser. I just threw the overt laser like right on his face, and he saw it. He's like, "Whoa!" and he backed down. But he didn't know who we were. We just pull up in a van, and he's like trying to mess with us, and I hopped out and put a laser on him, and he's just like, "All right," backed away. Also had a time at a checkpoint where some dudes stopped us going across a bridge. I've talked about that on some of the other podcasts. I ended up having a pistol kind of like at a shawl kind of wrapped around me, kind of like my hair is right here, but had my pistol underneath this thing, literally pointing at a dude's head that was like this close to me for a period of time, but never had to shoot him, luckily.
Please tell that story. I'm unaware of that one. So walk us through. That
Oh,
sounds
really?
pretty dicey as well.
So that one, we were coming back from Kandahar Airfield, which is the big army like airfield there or military airfield. Our base was another small little secret base off to the side from there, about on the other side of town. So we had gone to brief some commanders on things that we were doing, and we were headed back. We ended up getting stuck a little bit longer, so we were driving back in civilian vehicles, dressed like Afghans after curfew. So that's like a big no-no. It was something that we couldn't really avoid, but we figured, we'll be all right. So we roll back and we go across this bridge. And I was in the second vehicle. We had three vans, one in the front, one in the middle, one in the back. I was in the second vehicle as the driver. My buddy Rodney Brown, I think he was in the vehicle in front of me as the driver. And then we had somebody driving the vehicle in the back. And the team leader, who was a SEAL Team 6 guy, was in the back vehicle. So we roll up, first vehicle goes across the bridge, no big deal. I come up, they let me go. I start going across the bridge, third vehicle gets stopped. And they call on the radio there, hey guys, they stopped us. They're not letting us through. So we need our fighting force together. So we just start backing up. Like I started backing all the way across the bridge, backing up to these guys. Mind you, it's at nighttime. And we're not wearing night vision. So and then you can't turn around the bridge. So I backed it all the way up, backed it up. There's a dude in front of me with an AK, just kind of like antsy. I could tell, at this point in time, I had tons of experience, tons of combat experience. I could, you get to the point where you can read whether a dude's got experience or not. And I could tell this he's shaking in his boots, just looking at us. He's like, this is some weird stuff. I don't know how to handle this. So he had an AK and he was just antsy, like he wanted to shoot us. Then I had a more experienced guy who spoke English leaning into my car, and he's just like smoking a cigarette, blowing the smoke in the car, asking us if we're Taliban. And I was like, no, we're not Taliban. Are you Taliban? And then he was like, yes, yes, I'm Taliban. I'm like, okay, not surprised. And then he kept trying to reach in and turn the keys off. And I'm like, nah, pushing his hand back because that was our deal was that we don't let anybody get in the car. We keep the doors locked. We're not turning it off. We control the car. If we get out, it's not a good thing. Guns are getting, unleashed at that point in time. So we stay in the car and try to talk it off from in the car. Well, they had a Dishka, which is like a 50 cal machine gun on top of the roof. All these are like A&P guys, like military and police guys, but obviously they got some Taliban intermixed in them. So the guy keeps questioning me, and that's where I said I had the gun up like this under my shawl, pointing at his head. And it's dark enough that he couldn't see it. Like we have everything dimmed off in the car. But meanwhile, I'm on an earbud listening to our comms. The team leader was calling this up, had our interpreter talking to these guys, trying to talk our way out of it. And it got pretty tense to the point where it got to where we were counting down. Like we were counting down from a minute, and if we made it to the countdown, I was gonna blast this dude. My partner was gonna blast that other dude, and we were gonna punch it as hard as we could and fly out of there and try not to get shot in the tail end by that 50 cal machine gun. So
So wait, is that so you have an earpiece in and someone's counting you down from 60 and the plan is if you hit zero, talking time is over, you're gonna shoot these guys and so I didn't realize, so is that pretty standard to communicate like that where someone can put a timer in and that just tells everyone when to shoot?
well, it was not like a timer necessarily, but the team leader was just like, "Hey guys, we're trying to talk this out. It's not going very well." Basically, he's like, "It's not going very well, and these guys are getting amped up." We were calling up like, "Hey, this dude's antsy over here. Like this dude's about to pop a shot at us any minute now." And then so he's hearing this. We're painting the picture from our vehicles to him. So he's just like, "Hey, be prepared, guys. Like I know you're ready, but we may have to shoot our way out of here." if we don't get this resolved in like a minute and a half. And then we get to like a minute. He's like, all right, 1 minute. I'm giving it another minute. And then as it goes down, it's like down to 30 seconds. And then he's like, hey, we're good to go. All right, we can roll. I'm like, what? Like, all right. So it started rolling on out, and we just rolled on out, not a shot fired. So our Afghans basically our interpreters basically told the guys, because we have ISR, we have the drones, we have AC-130 up top that can see everything. And they didn't know that we didn't have those assets, but we didn't. We didn't have those assets at that time, but we told them that we did, and that scared them. We were like, doesn't matter, you can kill us, but the night plane's going to kill you. And they were like, oh crap. So that kind of freaked them out, and they let us go.
There's so many parts about that story that are just really, really interesting. Do you have any memories specifically from the Omega program where you look back and you're like, damn, I was really happy that I got to be part of that mission, or I was really happy that I got to experience that?